I'll take the blame for that totally. I'm just really pleased to be able to join you today. I have been working with Maggie and Jessica to create a plan to develop more awareness for Travel Impressions. So thank you for the business that you've given Travel Impressions, and I'm just going to go ahead and say thank you for your future business, because I just know we're going to continue to grow that. It's grown really very well in the last year, and I really appreciate that. So I'm going to kind of do an overview about Travel Impressions and just get everybody on the same page about it. So Travel Impressions has been around since the 70s. And I like to say it's like the greatest little company that no one knows. And the reason for that is that we sell B2B only, business to business only. And so that means that our only source of sales, I'm echoing again, that means that our only source of sales is you, the travel agent, okay? So in order for the company to be successful and for me to be successful as your business development manager, I have to help make you successful, because you'll never see us advertised on the radio or in magazines or TV or anything like that. So we are 100% dedicated to the travel agent. So why is that not moving? Hang on, Maggie. I seem to be frozen here.
Take your time.
There you go. So most people know us from Mexico and Caribbean, but we have far broader reach than that. We have actually now over 2,000 hotels. Many of them are resorts and all-inclusive properties. We have and we have those in 200 destinations. We have villas, some 2,000 of them in 37 countries. We have tours too. I don't think that most people think of us for tours. But we do sightseeing tours, escorted tours, and we have, of course, transfer. And we have a wonderful air program. So we have very, very broad reach. A few months ago, we started a program. It's not a promotion. It's ongoing, just the way we price things. And we reduced rates on about 90% of our properties, just reduced them across the board simply by taking less margin for ourselves in order to be very, very competitive. So if you have not priced us in some time, now would be a very good time to price us and sort of like just refresh your thinking about what Travel Impressions is. And by the way, we are primarily 4- and 5-star, okay? We do have a few strategic 3-star properties, like, for example, Hilton Garden Inn in Miami, which is a fantastic property if you're just flying in the day before a cruise, for example. But for the most part, we're 4- and 5-star properties. Our agency is called Quest. And with Quest, okay, I'm listening again. I haven't changed anything, so I'm not quite sure.
I'm hearing a lot of background. If anybody is on their phone, please mute yourself. Are you better?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Okay, so Quest is our agent tool. You get there by going to travimp.com, short for Travel Impressions, travimp.com. And then you look for the agent login, and then you'll go into the Quest site, Quest for Agents. When you book through Quest, you do earn an additional 1% per booking, and so that can add up, and especially for ICs, it's a great way to bolster your your revenue. Now, you can, of course, book through VAX. It's the same information and same pricing, except you don't get the 1% bonus commission. On Quest, it's not just for pricing your packages. There's a tremendous amount of training information. You can find out when Quest for Agents is available. That's the training, various training. It starts with like a basic 101. You can do multi-destination air training, all kinds of different advanced training on how to use Quest. On Quest, you'll find all the scheduled air, and I'm going to talk more about that later, and transfers and tours from our sister company, Amstar. You can also do your rail passes for Europe, Eurail, Italo-Rail, BritRail, and information on our cancellation waiver, which is cancel for any reason. That's what CFAR is. It's the acronym. Cancel for any reason is what we call CFAR. And then this is just a little screenshot to show you what it looks like. You'll see the agent login in the black tab there. And of course, if you've never registered before, you register just like you would for any other website anywhere. It asks the same information. It does ask for your IATA number because, you know, that's how we filter out like the hobbyists and maybe the occasional consumer that might somehow find our site. And it just breaks down there the different things. You'll see on the far left destinations, and that's how you get to your various destinations. And at the bottom of it is the villa experience, which is how you find information on villas. And you can just play around with that. Let's see, on this screen I just wanted to show you just the login page, just so you know when you get there. And then there's always, this is actually cached, so this is not current, not a current screen. It's cached from when I put this together, but just as an example, you'll see on the right-hand side, there are always different special savings for the various properties that we represent. Now, we have this wonderful program that just started in January, and it's called Loyalty First. If you're going to spell it out and try to, you know, find it on the within our pages, make sure you spell loyalty right, C-Clever, T-I, for Travel Impressions. We just launched that in January, and it's a way to earn points as you book. Once you're registered on that, you don't really have to do anything. Your points just accumulate in the background. It's very, very easy to use. If you have not registered for Quest yet, when you first register for Quest, you'll automatically get a link to registering for Loyalty First. If you've been on Quest for some time and you've never seen this screen before, that means it probably went to your spam. So just as you see the link down there, loyaltyfirst.com, and again, spell loyalty correctly with the TI, it will take you to a page where you can re-register for Loyalty First. Those points never expire. As the program has matured over the last year, almost year, you know, it just improves all the time, and so now you can use your points that you accumulate. You can use them for air travel. So it just continues to improve, and because the points never expire, you can just let them just accumulate in the background. So a couple of new things. Pardon me, I had to get a little sip of water there. Two new things on Quest are the Deals tab, and if you, again, this is cached information, but if you look back on the first screen for Quest, in here, the Deals screen is, the Deals tab is now right in here. It's orange color. It's a drop-down menu, and it shows you just what the latest offerings are. And also up in the corner up here, when you're on an actual live screen, the new thing is that price match chat. So we still do price match, but the thing is that you won't have to price match as much because, as I mentioned, we have the new pricing where prices are just lowered across the board. But when you do want a price match, you just hit the chat and it's super quick. Somebody comes on and gets you set up, and very often they answer the pricing question right there while you're on the price match screen. So super easy. I want to tell you a few things about some of our new properties. You know, the thing is that the way that you can, we want to help you retain your clients, right? And so the way to do that is to always keep up with new and fresh properties for people that are always looking for something different. You don't want them to be able to see a property advertised somewhere else and Travel Impressions not be able to offer it. So when they call you, you either can't offer it or you have to go somewhere else. That's, of course, the last thing that we want. So we always have new and beautiful properties. So we have 80 new properties for 2016. Actually, it's more than that now because there have been some more added in the last couple of months. For those of you that are heavy cruise sellers, please think of us as for pre and post cruise. And just as an example, we've added in Puerto Rico, we've added several properties, and among them are the Condado, you know, the classic property in Puerto Rico, which is, you know, really perfect when you're sending someone on a deep Southern Caribbean cruise, and from the, especially from the West Coast, and they have to go in the night before or take that hideous red eye. Just take them in early, do a very nice pre-cruise package, and put them in the Condado. I mentioned that you can sell rail, and new for this year we have Italo Rail. When you're doing your FIT Europe, or you know, you're doing a pre or post cruise, something like that, you can sell Italo Rail just from Quest or from Vax. We've added Cuba. We have 32 islands in the Caribbean, so we cover a lot of ground there, and we have 12 destinations in Mexico. Not all beach. We have some that are inland, you know, like the colonial areas. So it's not 100% beach. Then for a little bit more exotic travel, we have beautiful properties in Central America and South America. In Costa Rica, we have the lovely Secrets Papagayo. It's one of the most romantic properties around for those of you that do destination weddings and honeymoons. We have actually also a 9-day escorted tour in Costa Rica. We do Asia using Wendy Wu, and so I don't know if Wendy Wu is preferred with VCOM, but let's just say it is. If you might ask, well, why would I buy a Wendy Wu tour through Travel Impressions and not direct with Wendy Wu? Well, you know, in the travel industry, it's all about building your volume. And so if you keep as much of your business as possible through one company, that means that with the increased volume, good things happen, like increased commissions and things that are going to help you out. You really have more clout on those times, you know, when a mistake is made, and you know, we're all human, we all make mistakes, so it's always good to have somebody on your side. We also have Australia, New Zealand, and the South Pacific, including Tahiti. And yes, we do have the Brando villas in Tahiti. I'm asked that very often. We do not have a brochure on these destinations. You find that information on Quest. And we do offer South Africa and Zimbabwe. And I know very few people know that we offer South Africa, but it's beautiful properties and a really beautiful brochure. And I've talked, you know, a little bit out of sync there about the pre and post cruise stay, But, you know, I was with Cruise Line for many years, and the thing about purchasing a pre or post cruise through a cruise line is that it's always, always at a premium. So you're going to have a lot more control, and you're going to have much better value if you do an independent pre and post stay. So we can do your hotel, and that way you have control over your accommodation type. Very often a cruise package, pre or post, is a run-of-house room. So that's especially important if you have a client in a higher-end property, in a higher-end accommodation on the ship. Let's say that they're in a suite on the ship, and they come off to do their pre or post-cruise stay, or their post-cruise stay, and all of a sudden they're in a run-of-house room. For sure you're going to get a phone call on that, because they're going to want to know, hey, excuse me, why am I staying in a standard room with a view of the air conditioner? You're going to get a call for sure on that. So if you book through us, you have that absolute control over the accommodation type, and it is really just better value. You can put them in a private car. You know, that exit from the cruise, I think, is just never pleasant, really. I mean, no matter how lovely the cruise is at the end of it, you know, you got a mishmash of luggage on the sidewalk and 56 of your closest friends in a 55-passenger bus. So just avoid that, and consider doing an independent pre or post cruise stay. And I do have, I'll send it to Maggie. Actually, I might have already given it to Maggie. I have a flyer information that shows all of our ports and the hotels that we have in the ports. Okay, and then I want to mention too, just because I'm looking at it, we have the Condado, as I mentioned. I also have a really nice flyer on our historic hotels around the world. So we have castles in Ireland, and all of them have a story of how they started or who built them. And for your clients that collect hotels, that's just a really great source. And then just to circle back on that deals tab too, you know, I know you folks are from all over the country, but you know, this time of year is when you start getting people calling you up going, hey, I just want to go somewhere warm, you know, and that is just a whole long conversation, getting them narrowed down to, well, what part of the warm world do you want to go to? And I'm going to get your questions at the end here. I saw a question pop up, but I'll answer that at the end. That deals tab is really just to help you, really. It's just to narrow down the search. It's going to help you get your best value, and you're going to have a happy customer when you get to use that. We have tours. We have a sister company called Amstar, and it's called Amstar in Mexico and the Caribbean, and WorldStar in Hawaii. You can book your transfers. You can do private transfers or semi-private. You can book a transfer with us, by the way, even if you haven't done the hotel. Now, of course, I'd love for you to do the hotel, but you know, the reality is people want to use those Marriott points or whatever, so you may not book their hotel, but you can book a transfer as long as they want to be transferred to a property that we represent. And the reason for that is then that means then that we will have Amstar representatives in the hotel or the resort itself. So just remember, you can do transfers. And so when you want to, you know, not everybody wants to decide in advance what they want to do on a Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock. But for those that like to plan ahead, just know that our tours, which are all listed on Quest, sightseeing tours, are available to pre-book, and yes, they are commissionable. And it says it right there, yeah. And you can get group pricing. So if you're a group booker, you can get group pricing on it. So I want to make sure you know that we offer the Four Seasons in Lanai and Oahu. And just to mention about the luxury villas around the world, I think that the interesting thing about that is that if you have someone that wants a villa or an apartment somewhere where we don't have it listed, you can always call. Villas, you do have to call to book. We have a dedicated Villa desk, and you do have to call to book that, in which case you'd want to give your Loyalty First login number so that you get credit for that booking. We do have apartments in South Beach, New York, London, Paris, and Rome. And so that's going to help you combat against the Airbnb and VRBO. You have something that you can offer the clients, your clients that call and say, hey, I saw something on Airbnb. Okay, so we always have a supplier of the month, and for December it is AM Resorts. Okay, and they have their beautiful 6 brands. I mean, honestly, if you book nothing else, you can satisfy everybody with the AM Resorts brand, because there is something for everybody across their brands. You earn 500 bonus points when you book a supplier of the month, and that's just one of the many ways you can just get additional bonus points. Bonus points? I don't know what the word for that would be. Oh, sorry, I didn't update this. You are AM Resorts for December. So let's skip that one. So I think a lot of people I don't really take full advantage of the dedicated vacation flights that we have, and because you all are you know, all over the place, you can look in Quest and see what the departure points are. And we have new in Oakland. We have flights to Honolulu, Maui, Lihue, and Kona. That starts in January. We have flights out of LAX, SFO. We have a lot of flights out of the Midwest and East Coast, of course. You can use your cancel for any reason and CFAR, and it does cover cancellation on air, which is very rare to have air covered in anything, but we do cover it. And you can book flights pretty far in advance. So if you're not familiar with our dedicated vacation flight, the rest of the world would call that a charter, but we don't. We can't for some legal reason. I think primarily because you know, except on the East Coast, perhaps they take full planes. Ours, we have risk seats, so not a full plane load. So again, on the CFAR, it does have the partial commission protection, better than nothing. It refunds any air. As I mentioned, it starts at $59, and it's capped at, my screen's hidden, I think it's $169. I've suddenly forgotten that. And the thing about on the high end, the cap, $169, so that covers from $4,999 upward. So if you have a trip that's $10,000 a person, it's covered for that same amount. Now that covers for whatever the first segment is that you book for them. So if that's air, they can cancel up until the moment they set foot on the airplane. If it's the hotel, then you know they're in Cancun and something happens, then it would cover from that moment. We're reworking our groups, and they're getting better. It's getting better and better each day. This is the groups as easy as 1, 2, 3 is really easy in that you can book, like maybe you only book one room to start with, and then before you know it, you've got 6 rooms. You can convert that to a group and receive the group amenities. And then the other thing about groups, we've gone to a pod system. So for example, what I mean by that is that instead of having, like, being passed along to different people, like, say, reservationists, then the person that applies the payment, and then the person that finalizes, and then the person that does the accounting, you have 4 people in a pod, and you have that group from beginning to end. So if you call in, you don't have to reinvent the wheel and retell your story every time, because the people will be at least somewhat familiar with what your situation is. And they're assigned depending on what your consortia is. So when you call in, you will have a specific group. You make your group request online through Quest, and that's at ti-groups.com. You could call, but you do make your group request through in writing, and that's just, of course, the date, a couple of places that you would like to price out, how many people, and any other specifics about it, if it's a wedding or whatnot. And the wedding, that made me think back to loyalty, the loyalty first points that you accumulate. The interesting thing about that is that you can double dip on that. So if you are booking, just as an example, let's say Hard Rock or AM Resorts, anybody that has a loyalty program, you get loyalty first points, and then you get whatever your property points are too. So we have various help desks, and that would really be your first point of contact there. Let's just say that, I don't know, maybe you had an issue or something like that, these are the numbers that you would use to call. And you can always just call reservation and just pick from the queue where you need to go. You have sales support at Prompt 7. I use that myself. I probably use that 20 times a day. And that is where you go to get help there. I'm on the road a lot, so that is going to be your fastest way to get help. Well, my goodness, I really zoomed through that. So that is really all I have on that presentation, but I'm more than happy to take whatever phone call, whatever questions that you have. And I know that Mike popped something up. You asked the question of, are transfers included in the pre and post cruise? They're not included without charge, but you can add them in. So you could do, for example, you can do your hotel, you can do your transfers from airport to ship, airport to hotel, hotel to ship, ship to hotel, ship sightseeing hotel, ship sightseeing airport. It's completely up to what your client needs for that. So then I am, of course, unmuted. So Maggie, I can just take questions.
Yeah.
I can go back over any points you want me to reiterate.
I'll go ahead and unmute all. So everyone, whoever has a question, just politely do it with Laura, and she'll definitely help everyone, okay?
Lauren, how do we find out more about the apartments for rent?
If you go back to, apartments are housed in the same Villa Experience area. So let me just go back to that slide here. Do you see here under destinations, this is not a live slide, but do you see destinations? When you click on that, and this, by the way, is in your homepage on Quest. So you've gone to travamp.com, you've gone to agent login. This page will, no, I'm sorry, this is actually on travamp.com, and if you go back too far, you won't see it again. So you just click on the destinations, and at the bottom of this drop down, next to the last, it says Villa Experience. And within the Villa Experience is where you'll find the information on apartments.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else?
Mike, did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Well, this does happen sometimes, Laura. They don't have questions right now, but they will come up.
That's good. I'm available.
That's great. So on one of these slides, do you have your contact information, like either your phone number, your email? Can we just put it on that real quick so they could all get that for Laura?
Maggie, do we register for them through PTN?
You know what? I don't remember. Laura, can you refresh my memory? They could get you guys through VA. No, not VAX. I mean, we could go to Travel IT. You said right, something like that.
You go to travimp.com.
Travimp.com. Okay.
TRAVIMP.com. That's short for Travel Impressions.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking to see. I used to have my number down here on that first screen, but I don't see it. So you would just reach me, and this is true of everybody in Travel Impressions. I'm Laura, Laura, .Jeffrey, that's Jeffrey.
I'm going to post it up on the chat for everyone. Laura Jeffrey at travimp.com, right?
Right, correct.
And what's your phone number?
Sorry?
And your phone number?
415.
Uh-huh.
465.
Hold on. 415-465.
4353.
53.
And then if they've tried reservations, or you're just stuck, let's say, like, oh gosh, I don't know how to find the apartments, super quick, and they're there at their desk, sitting at a desk, whereas I'm usually sitting at a stoplight somewhere. You can just contact sales at travimp.com.
Mm-hmm. And then for what Mike was saying, this is a self-register for our agents, right? They would just put in our IATA number and they could self-register?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Great. So I'll post that in the link.
Maybe we should talk about, let me go back over that Quest again. So Quest is so even if you're going to book through VAX, you should be registered on Quest, because that's where all of our information is. And so we have things like webinars recorded. We have different destination programs, things like that you're not going to be able to access on VAX. So you register on that by going, again, agent login. That's where you go. And again, if you're new to Quest, then you're going to get an email that prompts you to log in for Loyalty First. And again, if you have been on Quest for some time and don't know what I'm talking about Loyalty First, probably means that it went to spam, because it comes from a weird address, and spam likes to just suck that up. So you then would just do a very brief email. You just do loyaltyfirst@travimp.com, and all you have to say, you can even just say it in the subject line. Just say, please send me my login. That's all you need to do.
That's great.
Yeah. And let's see, what else is a good selling tool? Well, I was just in Cancun 2 weeks ago for a national sales meeting, and I stayed at the Secrets, I was at the Secrets Playa Mujeres, and so next door to that is the new Dreams Playa Mujeres, which is not quite open yet, but it's looking stunning. It has beautiful water features. And, Dreams is one of the AM Resorts brands that is family. So kids, it's not, it's not all kids, not like going to Disneyland. It's really good for weddings, very good for weddings when you're going to have children attend. And so it had beautiful little water park. They call it the Lazy River. They have the Lazy River floating through, and just a really attractive resort. Let's see, what else have I seen recently? Oh, the Secrets in Cabo, very, very nice. I saw the new Breathless in Cabo, and Breathless it's adults only, but it's not couples only. It's just any adult, and a wonderful property like in town. So for people that like, you know, a lot of nightlife, or they don't want to be confined to a resort, something like that, that Breathless was really very stunning, beautiful rooms. So that's what I've seen recently. And also there's a Dreams. Panama started life as a Secrets, and then they sort of reverse course a little bit and changed it to a Dreams, which makes perfect sense because it's, you know, it's in, why not broaden your base there by allowing all ages there. Can I answer any more product questions or destination questions?
Anybody have any more
So-
questions for Laura?
So with travel impressions, everything is covered. You can do everything in a one-stop shop: the air, the hotel, and the transfers and all of that there.
Yeah, well said, and that cancellation, and also, you know, we do have insurance, you know, like regular trip insurance. We have that, you know, and of course I'm sure that Maggie wants you to book the whatever your preferred insurance is because you want volume, but there always are reasons why sometimes you need a different travel insurance for various reasons. And one of them would be if you have someone over the age of 65, then I am told by various agents, they tell me that ours is really good pricing in that situation. So yes, you soup to nuts, that's what we can do. Really it's super easy. Now, if you want training on that, you should log into Quest, and there are always training dates listed where you can log on to a webinar just like this. It's conducted by our trainer Valerie, who's that's what she does 100% of the time is do Quest training. So she will get you up to speed. You can do multi-stop, so for people that do, like if you do Europe FIT, for example, or especially if you do Hawaii and you might want multiple island, you can do multi-stop. We will add Southwest. We just converted to WorldSpan, and so as in any conversion, no matter how well you plan for that, it seems like, you know, it's like, oh, I didn't think of that one. So, you know, so we have WorldSpan now, and the intention that is with WorldSpan, then we can do Southwest Air and Southwest Group. So, of course, I will be sure to announce that when that happens, because now on Southwest, you know, you can get to Costa Rica. I saw something else recently. I had no idea it flew there. It was like Belize or somewhere. I didn't know Southwest flew to Belize. Well, speaking of Belize, I have an agent that books just 100% Belize. That's all she does all day long is Belize, and she says that our Belize properties and pricing are beats everybody. So I'm just taking that from her. So give Quest a go. I kind of taught myself that watching like hockey playoffs, and just taught myself how to do Quest. So, you know, give it a go, and feel free to take training in, you know, even, of course I want you to book through Travel Impressions, but I have to say, especially like maybe you're new to the industry or something like that, and you just need to beef up your destination knowledge. Our destination information is really fantastic. So, you know, you can just kind of noodle through that and find out, you know, all kinds of things you didn't know. Or when you get that call and they're asking for something like, you know, what, Joost Van Dyke, where I've actually been. They have a great flea market. But, you know, so they call you for something that you've never heard of and not quite sure how you even spell it. Well, just go to us and you know, figure out the information, because we really do have very extensive information on Quest. So feel free to use that. And we have other kinds of training too, not just Quest. We have all kinds of product training. So for the different brands, like, AM Resorts, Barcelo, all kinds of things like that. So keep that in mind. Any other questions?
Yeah, the last 4 digits of that phone number again.
Was
Uh,
4353. So it's 415-465-4353. Correct, Laura?
That is correct.
Thank you.
Now bear in mind that because I'm in field sales, I'm usually in the field, which to me usually means either parked on a freeway or at a red light. So if you need immediate answer, then please go to sales, because they're sitting at a desk and they're dedicated there, and God, Lord knows where I might be.
Well, we
So,
definitely do appreciate the time that you took for, doing a webinar for us tonight. So that's great. Great for you to tell us, that we should contact sales. I know that sometimes I call you, but take her information down, everyone. I truly do like working with Travel Impressions. There's a lot to learn, so I hope that we could have you again, Laura.
oh, my pleasure. Yes, we can do a product seminar or something.
Yeah, of course. Or see what kind of incentives we have available for our agents that book Travel Impressions. So I know me and you were working on that, so we'll talk about that further.
Yeah, we'll talk about that going. Yeah, and do it. I'm doing the 2017 planning right now. So
It's great.
yeah, I look forward to it. Thank you for having me as a guest. I really appreciate it. Now I can find my mute button, so I'm all
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else? Any questions before we disconnect tonight?
Nope.
Nope. Alrighty. Well, if you do, you know how to reach her, email and phone number if it's you needed to talk to her. If not, just call sales. If you need anything else, you always feel free to call us here at the office. And everybody have a great weekend, and we will see you guys on December 22nd. Okay?
Thank you.
All righty.
Bye, everyone.
Night.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Good night.